Point number one was to do that in-depth market study. Really, really important. Number two, figure out your budget. Make sure that it makes sense. Make sure you understand what it is and constantly assess it. Number three was actually the waiting, this 30 to 90 days to start your renovation project. And I know that's really, really important. Number four was to use the outside-in approach in terms of renovation. That's really important, I think. And then finally, constantly reassess the plan. Actually, the first two have nothing to do with actually improving the property. The first is really doing an in-depth market study. And it's critical because you have to understand exactly where the property is now relative to its peers. And then we always look one step above where it is now to see where it could be. Then we figure out what we want to do to the property and then ask ourselves, based on what we understand about the market, when we take that property from here to here, does it make sense? Are we able to get the rent increases that we need in order for the project to be profitable for our investors? So that's actually the first step. And most people are always surprised to hear me say that because it's just critical. If you don't do that going in, you're going to have a lot of problems. So the next thing we do is we just look at our budget. So now we understand where we can take rents. Now we've got to figure out, okay, how much are we going to spend? What do we need to do? So we go through that budgeting process and we map it all out. So I tell people, you're going to do your renovation plan. If you do it correctly, you're going to do it once when you initially pencil out the deal and try to go under LOI. You're going to do it again at due diligence. And then you're going to do it a third time at least after you actually own the property. My third point is going to be, I want people to wait, and we do this religiously, and we encourage our clients to do it as well. Wait 30 to 90 days before you start that first renovation. And some people are really chomping at the bit to get going out of the gate. But I'll tell you, if you wait that little bit of time, you learn a lot more about the property than you already knew. Of course, you've done your due diligence and you've been thorough, but let's face it, there's some things that only time will uncover. And the reason I care about that is because what you don't want to do is go in and spend all your renovation money in 60 days only to learn something that, boy, you sure wish you could have saved money back to resolve whatever issue that was. So it's really part of the planning process that we do that. That way, that last iteration, well, it's not really last, but we're constantly reevaluating the plan, but that iteration after that waiting period is even more solid. You have even more confidence in it. So that's why we wait that waiting period. So my fourth point is to use an outside-in approach, right? What you don't want to do is put all your money inside the unit. Not that your unit shouldn't be nice. They need to. But if you don't start on the outside, I can't get that prospect to the front door, to open the front door, to look at the beautiful unit that you created. So we always start from the outside in. Now, having said that, remember the Jerry Maguire movie, right? You had me at hello. I know that's corny, but that's kind of how we approach what we're doing here. I need to get that prospect's attention and get them emotionally connected to the property right away. So that's why we start with the outside in. And then what we try to do is we really try to beef up our amenity package. Finally, constantly reassess the plan. So usually the two steps that people want to jump over because they're with the waiting period, they're just anxious to get started. And I get it. Maybe there's a few things you can start, but wait on as much as you can. And lastly, they're sometimes hesitant to reassess that plan. And I think, especially like syndicators, if they've raised a lot of money and they're communicating with their investors, they told their investors up front, the plan is A, B, C, D, and E. This is what we're going to do. And they get concerned that if they change that plan, that it may appear to their investors as though they really don't know what they're doing. And I would submit to you that that is absolutely not the case. I mean, a good property owner, a syndicator, fund manager, whatever it is, they should constantly reassess that plan. And if it does make sense to change the plan and just indicate why. Okay, we thought this, it's real, this isn't as important as we thought it was. This is more important. And this is why we're going to switch gears a little bit. What the investors don't want you to do is change their budget, the total number, right? That they won't take to very kindly. But as long as you stay within the budget, and if you can change the plan, and we do this all the time, we change the plan, tweak it to get even more rent than we otherwise could have, it's only going to benefit the investors. So as long as you're making decisions that benefit the investors, I would say to do that. That last one is it's always interesting when I hear people talk because they're concerned. They're concerned that someone will look at them and think that they didn't know what they're doing up front. And I would say to you that that's just should never be the case, as long as you're justifying what you're doing. If you like the content that we've shared here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell. So thank you again and have a wonderful day.